morning and thank you so much for joining us for our first show today. My name is Carol Tumwine. Welcome to yet another power-packed show where we get to discuss issues that are trending around here as well as abroad, where Jerusalem has been attacked by unknown assailants and caused a very, very big issue down there, as well as we are heading in for the swearing in of the president of Uganda, General Kaguta Museveni. Now, you've been seeing videos on STV here of his swearing in 1986, how it went down, how he was still a very small guy and a very young guy with ideas that would take Uganda to the future. However, tomorrow is the day when he swears in for his 6th term in office as the president of this country. Good morning and thank you so much. Please do join us on our social media platforms, STV Uganda, on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, as well as our YouTube channel. Get enough content, get updates about all these other stories that are making headlines this morning. Of course, we do start off with our inspirational segment. However, before I start with this inspirational segment, I would like to let you know that security forces have been deployed at the homes of Honorables Chiza Besigye Fefe as well as Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, also commonly known as Bobi Wine. Now, it is very, very disturbing to hear such news this morning because if you look at the situation that we are having in Uganda right now, we do not need another vulnerable state where we are in fear and in worry and intimidation because, of course, these two people have families. I believe that their families inside there, they are very intimidated. Imagine waking up and you're surrounded by police and you cannot get out, you cannot move in, you cannot let visitors in just because somebody is going to swear in. I don't think these guys are planning to cause any serious havoc that will disturb the country in any way. So that will be a topic of discussion. I am really disturbed by it. I don't know what you think about it. You'll call in later at the hour of 7 o'clock and let me know exactly what you think about security forces, of course, being deployed at the homes of these honorables, Dr. Chiza Besigye as well as Bobi Wine, who is the NUP party president and currently the strongest opposition leader. Now, there are claims that there's going to be a lot of riots since President Museveni is going to swear in tomorrow. Riots from the opposition are highly expected and anticipated. However, we should not forget that the government clearly through the IGP Martin Okoth Ochola said that anybody who tries to bring havoc will be put in their place. I don't think that Ugandans have really forgotten that fast and gone ahead to cause havoc. Anyway, good morning. Thank you so much for waking up this morning. Who said you cannot start something fresh on a Tuesday? Who said it has to be Monday? Of course, these things were put to Abisangao. They were put down by some people. All these calendars we're seeing, all these year plans we're seeing, all these names of the days of the week were put down by some people who came up and said, okay, let today be Monday, let tomorrow be Tuesday, let the next day be Wednesday. Now, their proposals cannot stop you as a person from going any forward. You cannot say that because it's a Tuesday, I can no longer start something new. And I have to wait for another Monday, for a whole new week to start, and then I start something new. That is very, very wrong. And of course, this mentality has been with us right from childhood. And I would, of course, be of the view that we drop it immediately and we start thinking about our own things. I believe that God gave you your own mind, God gave you your own eyes, your own pair of ears, so that you can hear, you can see, you can use your mind to think and come up with your own things without following what we found there in the African traditional, ATS, African Traditional Society. We do not have to follow that kind of rule, whatever, and go by the book. I think that is even why we are still stuck as Africans. We like to follow what others have put up for us, and we forget that God blessed us with our own mind to go about these things on our own. How about if you come up with your own routine? And I told you here last week and said the people who think they are crazy enough, the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are actually the people who can. can change this world. So how about you come up with your own? Who said you cannot begin something new on a Friday, on a Saturday? Why do you have to say, why are we in a setting where we're saying, okay, if it's a Monday is when I will begin a new thing. Tuesday, it's already Chiba Chai said. I don't think that is the right way to go about life. So it is a Tuesday morning. It's a brand new day, fresh for you to start anything new that you have ever thought about, that you have ever dreamt about, but however, also to improve on that you have been doing. Of course, it makes no sense for you to start something and never bring it to an accomplishment. The person telling you, you may think that I accomplish everything I start. Nope. Actually, I'm very terrible at tasks, but I have very good understanding leaders who keep pushing me, and we need that positivity from our friends, our neighbors, our leaders, everybody. You need to talk to people that will motivate you to go ahead and push for what you want. Don't you ever stop in the middle. Don't let anybody intimidate you. Don't let anyone judge you, because we do not have the power to judge each other. Or especially judging harshly. You may give a good judgment and we say, okay, since it's a positive one, it can pass. But for negative judgment, I do not think we have any power whatsoever to judge each other. So as you start your day, please do surround yourself with people who are going to challenge you positively so that you improve on your everyday, of course, delivery of services. Whatever it is that you do, it is important for you to remain consistent and to finish what you started. It does not make sense for you to start something and never finish it. Today you started a business, you put it in people's eyes and what. We got used to you and you disappeared in the long run. It will only be written down in history that you started something and you didn't finish it. There is nothing good about quitting. There is nothing good about quitting. It's just a word in the dictionary that reminds us every day that we need to go ahead and win. Of course, not forgetting that we all need the creator, the person who created us. We all need them, and you'd have no right again to judge people for how they choose to believe in God. Like for example, if you woke up and phoned me in the Chibala and you go like, I thought you were telling us to believe in God. Yes, but right now it's time for Chibala. Don't judge me. Don't you ever judge anybody, because you don't. First of all, you don't know their whole story. You don't know how they got where they got to. But on the judging list, you're the number one person to notice the log in your friend's eyes before you notice the speck in your own eyes. I believe that no one is perfect, because in our imperfections is where we get the spirit to build up and become better people. So don't you let anybody ever judge you because of your weakness, because of what you can't do best, because of how you find yourself as a person. Maybe that's how God created you to be, and we are all different because of a certain purpose that we were put here on earth to do. Please do look out for that purpose. Go home, sit, relax, play some music. It's in the morning right now. As you go to work, please play some music as you take your coffee, as you take whatever it is you take in the morning. Friends who do very, very cold juice in the morning, and I'm like, that is very contradicting, but it is not my business. So it is Tuesday morning. We are anticipating the swearing in of the one and only, our Chibubu, President Museveni Yoweri Kaguta, the general who has been in power for the last 35 years in Uganda. I have no problem with Museveni, because personally I've never really been, I've never lost peace. If there's peace somewhere, all we need is peace, because imagine there's these countries like Mogadishu where every time you're prepared for a war or something like that. In Uganda it's not the case. At least you can go home, sleep, go see your family, go leave your family even behind if you're a family leader, and be sure that you'll come back and find them in one piece. We really, really need to thank God for the pros. Before we start looking at the cons, we need to thank God for the pros of this government. Well, I've already told you about the social media platforms. I've told you my name. What next than to get into the stories? However, before I do that, let me read you some two quotes only. There is no special talent. There is only passion to be curious. Every time you're curious about that one thing that you want to do, or those things that you've been setting your eyes on, every time you're curious about them, they turn into talent. Because even wasted talent, we've seen a lot of wasted talent where somebody has talent, but they choose to just remain home and sit on their talent, or they choose to be egocentric and have a lot of ego and think, you know, I know it all, and in the end it just busts out. So talent is not enough. You need consistency, you need help here and there. No man is an island. I believe the Englishmen who came up with these sorts of quotes were not drunk, or they were drunk, but the quotes are working. Anyway, wise and slow, they stumble that run fast. You need to be very, very careful in the steps you take. Otherwise, if you run so fast, it is when you stumble. Actually, bring me to my point about the accidents that have happened on the Northern Bypass Express Highway. This road is very smooth, man. I can imagine if I had a car, hey, I would just go to the bypass and drive from here to there, to here to there, just enjoying the fact that it is spacious, it is built in a nice way. Of course, we spent a lot of money to come up with the bypass, but overspeeding is still a very big challenge. And yesterday, 2 cars were involved in fatal accidents where one of the drivers lost her life. She was actually a lady. And then the other one also, I think, sustained injuries, because if you look at these images, they are so disturbing. They are so disturbing to the extent that you might be thinking, was this driver really up to something, or the way the cars fell off the road? It is very, very terrible. And I know that overspeeding is somehow enjoyable to some people, especially the Subaru drivers, but let us take caution and remember that I can't wait to buy a car, or to own a car anyway, and drive like a grandmother, because I'll just be careful, knowing that even tomorrow I want to drive. I'm not rushing anywhere. You're not rushing anywhere. Why do you want to leave your loved ones like that? Even you may find that's not the death that God planned for you, but just because you're just on the highway and you feel like it is kaserengeto, is that what they call it? You just feel like disappointing us like that, and they lost their lives, and we do stand with the loved ones, that their families and their loved ones, and we do say rest in peace to them and console their families. Well, we move on to the stories that are making headlines in and around Uganda. Well, police have said that any person who organizes, who practices, or broadcasts any parallel swearing-in ceremony will have committed treason. So you're going to be charged. And the offense is going to be treason if any of these candidates, because there have been rumors here and there that the Honorable Chagulanyi Sentamu might want to swear himself in. I don't remember him making such a statement. All I remember him saying, I think yesterday, was that they've surrounded his home with all these police officers and the military police and all these things. And he says this is the way that Museveni is planning to swear himself in. That is what Bobi Wine said. However, I don't think that he's planning a swearing in separately from the one that is going to go on tomorrow, because Bobi Wine said he's going to follow what the law tells him, as long as he is trying to pursue whatever he's trying to pursue. If he's trying to pursue a re-election, he'll go through the right channels, and we don't expect it. However, police has come out to strongly warn any person that wants to go that direction. Of course, in 2016, FDC strongman Dr. Kizza Besigye, who had been a candidate in the presidential polls, swore himself in as president before he was arrested and detained in Karamoja. My question to the police becomes, if he swore himself in, what Chibasalachi, like I imagine if I was the incoming president and I hear that someone out there was swearing in, as I'm also swearing in, I wouldn't be bothered. I would just go on with because I know I'm the rightful president. Now, by the time you want to go and arrest somebody because they're swearing in somewhere else, it just means maybe, I don't know, I don't want to say some of these things, but does it really threaten us to that extent of saying, okay, since they may swear in, so we have to grab them and imprison them and show? I don't know why the police loves to show us that they are really strong. I was here on the first show and I was telling you guys, we know that we know the place of the police. We know that the police is authorized. We know that it has a lot of power, but you don't need to intimidate us. We feel scared. I can imagine Ugandans right now, what they are thinking, seeing that the president of Uganda maybe is aware that some of his police officers surrounding the homes of these two honorables. What is he feeling like? Isn't he feeling like, okay, my Ugandans, the ones I love so much, I believe President Museveni loves us. I mean, God cannot give us a leader who does not love us. Can he? I don't think so. So I'm thinking maybe the president is feeling bad about it, and he can't do something to stop this intimidation. Ugandans, and the problem that I've noticed with us Ugandans is that we don't even want to talk about it. We just be like, I don't want Sagala, Johnny, and Noneko, which is true. We are all scared of our lives, or we are all intimidated in a way, but maybe we look for a good, polite way to air out our issues. For example, we are always in the field here and there trying to ask you on camera, you guys, what do you think of this country? What do you think of this issue? Can you give us solutions on how to go about some of these issues? And you know what most Ugandans do? They'll be like, I don't want to speak in the camera, especially the elite people. People who have gone to school, they do not want to talk to the media at all. I don't know why. I don't know if they think maybe the bosses are going to have a problem with it or something like that. But how long as Ugandans are we going to sit back and let such things happen year in, year out without us coming out and trying to solve it? And it doesn't even mean that you have to be rough about it or rowdy about it. Maybe you just have to give your opinion by writing. We have social media platforms. Go there and write what is on your heart. Call in. There's a show like the first show right now. We are asking you to call in and tell us exactly what you think about the security that is surrounding the Honorables Chizabeth Jeshfefe and Bobi Wine's houses. What do you think of that kind of intimidation? Is there any scare that is coming from those ends towards the government? What is your take on that? Call in and tell us. Don't just watch the show and then when we go away, you start saying, Naiva Nai, Uganda, we need change. You are the change that Uganda is looking for. You, as a person, as an individual, are the change that Uganda is looking for. Personally, I think that is why I wake up every morning to come and make sure that we discuss these issues. Because for me, I can't talk to the camera. I'm comfortable with the camera. Actually, off camera, I'm not even that talkative. I'll just look at issues and bypass them. But when I have a chance to look in the camera and talk to you so that we liaise and talk about these issues, I will always do that one. So use any means. It could even be your friends. Just talk to them, get their opinions, discuss with them and see what do they think about such an issue. You'll call in later. However, moving on to with this story, addressing journalists at the police headquarters in Naguru, police spokesperson said through intelligence they have got wind of plans by one of the presidential candidates in the January polls to hold a parallel swearing-in ceremony in the coming days. Fred Iganga, however, warned against this same. He said, in his words, we have got information from our intelligence teams of one of the presidential candidates to hold a parallel swearing-in a certain hotel in Iganga. We have presidential candidates who have not conceded defeat and say they won the election, but they want to remind them and their supporters that they are not legitimate. Like I said, if something is not legitimate, then you don't have to give it your time. I'm thinking if anybody wants to do a parallel swearing alongside the President Museveni Kaguta, it should not bother us very much. If it's not legitimate anyway, it should not bother us, because I'm imagining they'll be in a hotel in Iganga swearing in. Nobody will even, if really it's illegitimate, then nobody will even care. But the fact that you're going ahead to put security warnings and saying if anybody comes out and starts swearing in, we shall be on ground to stop it. Shouldn't we really think it's legitimate, or shouldn't we really think there's some strength coming in from that side? I'm imagining that there's nothing that can stop the president from swearing in peacefully, calmly, so that the country would go back, and become peaceful again. Remember that there are claims that internet might be switched off again. These are just claims. Hearsay around the corridors. Not even any media house has written about it. Me, myself, I heard it from some of the people I hang out with. And I was like, wait, during the elections, we're going to understand that there was a lot of pressure maybe coming in from all ends, but now we already have a winner of these elections, and it is just going to be the swearing-in ceremony. Why would the data be tampered with? Because I'm thinking there are companies that run on data, internet. For example, where I work, the priority is internet. So when you switch it off, it means that you're, again, infringing on people's businesses, and of course, there's nothing we can do about it because the president is swearing in. Well, we really, really hope that tomorrow goes well. Of course, we shall be giving you live updates from the Kololo Independence Grounds, where the ceremony is going to take place. I already told you a number of 4,000 guests were invited, which is usually more than that, but because of the COVID-19 pandemic that hit us early last year, they are unable to be enough guests like as usual. But 4,000 is not a bad number to witness exactly what the president is going to do tomorrow. I remember like 11 heads of states were supposed to come in for this particular ceremony, and the information I have right now, as Carol right now, I don't think that the number of 11 has been hit yet as